Guys, hey, I'm doing this video today, why you can't win in court, part 5. Now, it's very interesting that people sign up for the military when they're 18, and there's a big old thing about it. So everyone goes down to the post office and signs up for the military, when in reality, the police are military, the court is military, the head judge at the federal building is a JAG judge. It's military, folks. And you stop and look at it, they've declared war against us. It all fits like a puzzle, if you can understand that. And it's a whole bunch of things and a whole bunch of conspiracies combined. It's like a way of life, because that's what we've been taught. We see it every day. It all looks normal to us. So yes, I'm saying that the court is military. I'm saying it has a dual function. And all the dum-dums and the U.S. citizens that have agreed to participate in this system and to be taxed and to be plundered and to not know anything. Because many times in my life I've seen the judge say, okay, what do you want to do? And they say, well, I want to file this motion, or I want to do these things, or whatever they might have been told, when they could have just said, I want you to dismiss the case, and the case would have been over. And that's so true that it's bizarre. So the options are, and this is going to take you back a little bit. The options are, you either want to support the military BS, or you want to be a private man or woman. In other words, equity is the other part that could exist in the courtroom. It won't exist very long if you start doing equity. You can do equity with this right here. You can do equity with this right here, writing. You can do equity with speaking. And it's so bizarre and so apparent through the years as things have been done in court, different procedures that I've ran into. I stop and look once I understood a little bit of equity, and I realized that not just several cases, but a bunch of cases, I've end up winning, or the person I'm helping end up winning, because they either spoke the correct thing or they wrote the right thing and gave it to the judge in open court. And equity switched in the court, and the court lost. So if there's ever a question on what's the most powerful side of the court, it's equity. Because equity will always beat them. And in law school, they teach them, don't get into equity, because it's basically between private people. Now, if you go in there and you do the normal thing that a defendant does, and you don't have nothing up here, you're going to be completely lost. You're going to be like, it's a dog and pony show. All they do is lie. All they do is make up stories, and they're just actors. That's because we have nothing in our brain that makes us be the man or the woman, because we're at a loss. We believe we've been beat down so bad over and over and over, and we've seen it on TV and everywhere, that they're going to beat you. And the chance of you winning at trial is super slim. It's a dumb move. So really effectively what I'm saying is, depending on what you say, depending on what you write, and depending on your status in there, right away at the beginning, the place can turn into an equity court in the flash of an eye, and it'll go your way, because they have to assist you in equity. That's why they don't ever want to do equity. So people act a certain way because they've been programmed their whole lives to believe You know, it's Admiralty Court. You see the gold fringe around the flag. Well, that's military. You know, I mean, it's right there in front of our face. And you believe you're not in the military. But if you have an all capital backwards name on your ID, and you can look, or your driver's license, if that's all capital backwards black name, it's fraudulent, it's military, and they call you by your last name in the military. And every one of us are military. If you can separate it in your mind and you can understand that that's not you, you can win every case that exists. It's just you don't know the method because you've never been taught. It isn't because people are stupid. It's because the whole society will go along with what the court says. Pay this, they'll jump right on it. Do this community service, they'll jump right on it. You know, all that's military. Military. And that means that in your mind, you're a corporation and you're a military participant, and the due process of law, in other words, bullshit, isn't good for you. Now, if you switch into equity, and there's a bunch of different methods, you switch into equity, then what happens is you have something up here, and they definitely despise that, because as soon as you got it up here and you've seen the little mechanisms to switch it into equity, they start working for you. Yes, they can give you the file and they can step aside, and yes, you can get paid for the court case. You can do all kinds of different things. Please don't let this spark an avalanche of phone calls. If you're serious and you want to donate to me for a consultation and you want to go through things and you have some issues, or you have an issue yourself, or a court case, or a loved one in prison, you know, this is going to give you some ideas about how things can work. And it can be over with in a flash of an eye, just like that, if you make that happen. So this is part 5 of why you can't win a court case, but with a little bit of an explanation how you can win. And very few people win in there consistently. If they have one in there, they should change their life and stay out of there. So you can win if you understand what you're doing. So if you watch the other videos, you know, it feels like you can't win, but you can win if you do the proper thing, or you write the proper document. It doesn't have to be anything technical like the court wants. It can be from a real man or woman, which will switch the court. And if you know what you're doing, and you have equity eyes, and you understand what's happening, you can absolutely beat them every time. Now, this is not for criminals. This really isn't. I don't support criminals. If you call me and we help each other and you get in trouble again, I quit. Because this is not for criminals. This is not for rapists. This is not for murderers. This is not for any of those type of people that want to be like degenerates in society. It's just not for those kind of people. You know, if you're honorable and something happened and they falsely accused you, which is a lot of times, this may be for you. If someone's in prison and you know they really didn't do what they said, you know, there's simple methods, very inexpensive, to put it together for them to get released. So we'll talk to you soon. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give me a thumbs up. I've added a donate button if you want to support the channel. I appreciate it if you do ahead of time here. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.